What's up, guys? It's KAMIKAZE-FOX coming to you from IRL, second day in a row. If you were with us yesterday, we did a makeup race yesterday for missing last week's race. Round 2 was at CODA yesterday. Was scheduled for last week. There were server problems, so we did a reschedule for yesterday. So today we're doing round 3, actually scheduled race here in Mexico. Still waiting for some drivers to join, but we can run down the quick list and get it going with some news and highlights. But you'll see sitting at the top is Cameron Weston Edwards. He's sitting second in the championship point standings. Beastie Kids is Louis Quinlan. And then there's Brandon the Man Glover in the Mercedes Petronas. Rob Sawyer will be in one of the factory Ferraris. Guy Hamilton will be in the other one. Wasted Times is Leland Supartini. And Casico 890, he's a newcomer today, making his debut in the league. And he's taking place of the factory Red Bull driver. That was Black Dog. We haven't seen him this year. It was Thomas DeHont. But Casico 890, that is Vito Delev, and he will be taking place of him from here on out. Little Piece is going to be in the other Red Bull, that is Jorge Carrera. He had a massive accident yesterday in the first couple of laps, so he's looking to have a little bit better of an outing today. F3YIHD, that is going to be Felix Neguar, and he is your championship points leader. He has 2 wins so far this season. And in the other Haas will be also newcomer Stefan Prodanov. He joined yesterday. Will be taking over the other Haas for the rest of the season. He started on pole in his first outing. Proved to be very fast. Finished second in the race yesterday. So look forward to see what he can do again today. Below him is going to be Joda 2911. And that is officially the Joshua Dangle. You might remember Dangle's name from our round 1, where I had referred to Dougal as Joshua Dangle. Dougal was actually Kieran Evans, so again I want to apologize about that, but Joda 2911 is Joshua Dangle. He will be making his debut today, as he's missed the first couple of rounds. Callum the Boss, that is going to be Callum Lantham. He is going to be running in the other Williams. Stewart is Lewis Bish. Orange Warrior, now he had an interesting race yesterday. That's Shark Boxhorn, and he was disqualified from the race for going the wrong way on the track. Now, that being said, we talked to Boxhorn yesterday after the incident. He said the grip level between qualifying and race time had changed vastly. And he had lost control of the car, and before he knew it, he was disqualified for heading the wrong way on the track. So, unfortunate series of events for him yesterday. Hopefully he'll be having a better outing today than yesterday. Didn't get to finish out the ZE3EXER. That is Sandro Sauerhog. He is going to be one of the Scuderia Toro Rossos. And then it looks like we have Ethan Croft. He'll be rocking the other McLaren. So again, we're going to do a 12-minute qualifying session. Got any questions or comments, leave them on the comment box and I'll get back to you if you have a question. We're going to start qualifying here in the 12-minute session, then we'll jump into the race. So interesting events yesterday at CODA. You see cars starting to head out onto the track. And Felix Neguar was your winner yesterday. He's actually your championship points leader. He's 2 for 2 so far this year. He won in Canada, won at USA. Going to be trying to make it 3 for 3 today. You see the cars heading out onto the track. So Nagor's got 50 points in the championship. He's got a 17-point lead over Cameron Weston Edwards. He's running the factory Renault. Edwards has been on the podium both races. And coincidentally enough, Renault has a 10-point lead over Sauber in the manufacturer's point standings, but the only person to put up any points for the Sauber so far has been Felix Nagor with his 2 wins. So we take a look at Mexico. Interesting track here. Part of the track runs through the old baseball stadium. Interesting little complex through there. Fans get a nice stadium seating and a close-up look at the cars as they head through. Got a lot of guys out on their out lap now as we take a look at Sharp Boxhorn. See Casico leaving. Guy Hamilton on the track. Rob Sawyer. Quinlan's still in the pits. We're going to take a look at Felix Nagor here. So he's trying to put some heat in the tires. A lot of these guys really close together. I imagine some of them would want to back off a little bit, give themselves a little bit more running room. And it looks like, oh my, been a collision with Brandon Glover. Guy Hamilton. Had that note pop up at the bottom of the screen. So you see Nagor here has started his fast lap. You see how much traffic is in front of him. You got one of the Haas's, one of the McLarens in front of him. He's running the Ultra Softs. And he's already caught up to the McLaren. The Haas is putting the heat into the tires. This is not, you should probably abort this lap. These guys really need to give themselves some running room to set up a good lap time. 12 minutes to play when you start. You don't need to be the first ones out on the track. So it looks like he's backed off. And he is definitely going to, there we go, he's going to throttle back, let the other guys take off. And it looks like we've got a problem in Sector 2, maybe. Oh my goodness, yeah, big crash there. Left front suspension broke, and that is going to put Sue Partini at the back of the pack of race time. So Cameron Weston Edwards is the first one to set a time, it looks like. 1:17.395. And Prodanov jumps to the top of the charts. The Haas, he had pole yesterday, finished second in the race. Tried a 3-stop strategy yesterday at Coda, and now Joshua Dangle has run a 1:10.986, and it says he has left the session. There has got to be some sort of glitch there. Can't imagine he's a 1:10 versus a 1:17. There's got to be a glitch there. I'm sure he's not 7 seconds faster than Stefan Prodanov. Continue to watch Prodanov now. You see Dangle, it says he's in the pits, 1:10.986. It'd be interesting to see if that time stands. So Cameron Weston Edwards he's going to dive into the pits. So trying to get some information on Joshua Dangle's time. So far, 1:10.986 is the fastest time, but I have to assume that there is some sort of glitch in the timing there. There's no way that he was 7 seconds faster than Stefan Prodanov, and that's not a knock against Dangle's ability to drive the car, but clearly when you have drivers like Brandon Glover, Cameron Weston Edwards, Prodanov, who have proven themselves to be very fast in every aspect of the game between preseason testing and the first 2 rounds in Canada and Coda, find it hard to believe that they would be 7 seconds off the pace. So that's not a knock against Dangle. Clearly there's been some sort of glitch with the timing for Joshua Dangle, which would right now provisionally give him the pole for the race. 6 minutes left to play in the session. Obviously a little bit of confusion. This is going to be an unofficial timing sheet. So as it stands, Stefan Prodanov would be your fastest driver, followed by Cameron Weston Edwards, Brandon Glover, Louis Quinlan, Jorge Carrera, Rob Sawyer, Louis Bish, Sandre Sauterhog, Callum Lantham, and Felix Naguar. Naguar's run a 1:28 and headed back to the pits. And there is some discussion going on now with the stewards as to the legality of the time for Joshua Dangle. 5 minutes left to play. There's a lot of discussion going on behind the scenes as to what to do about this current situation. So if there is another restart, and it says now Rob Sawyer has retired from the session, possibly could be one of many. Let's take a look at one of the cars out on track. This looks like Stewart. That is Louis Bish. Him and his teammate Sue Partatini, they had an incredible battle yesterday at Coda for the 6th spot that went on a few laps. You can definitely check out the live stream from yesterday's race on my channel. Definitely a couple of good battles between him and Brandon Glover. And it looks like Joshua Dangle, who set the 1:10.986, has now left the session as well. There's still some discussion going on behind the scenes. So we continue to watch. Louis Bish looks like he's about the only car out on track right now, and he wants to try and set himself a time. Saw the DRS slot open. He's out on the Ultra Softs. Really impressive run yesterday. Really a good, hard-fought battle with his teammate. He's currently unofficially 8th fastest, but we're going to say 7th fastest, as Dangle's time will probably be negated at the end of all this. So a lot of guys yesterday tried doing a 3-stop strategy at Circuit of the Americas, and Stefan Prodanov and Cameron Weston Edwards, 2nd and 3rd yesterday. Felix Naguar was able to, he slides out against the wall there a little bit. But Felix Naguar was able to do a 2-stop strategy yesterday, managed to make his his regular softs last until the end of the race. He was giving up chunks of time towards the end of the race to Prodanov, but managed to retain the lead and finish 10 seconds ahead of Prodanov. So we see here, Bish does not improve his time or position. And it looks like he's gone ghost, so he has probably retired from the session as well. So it looks like we're getting some word that the internet for Joshua Dangle had lagged and actually given him an advantage. We don't see that too often with internet lag. Looks like we are going to let the time stand, but somehow Joda will have to start from the back of the grid. So we still got 1:30 to play. See Cameron Weston Edwards. He's slowly but surely getting his way around the track on an outlap. Here we take a look at Quinlan. He's on an outlap. Jorge Carrera also on an outlap. Still a lot of discussion going on behind the scenes. Oh, you can really hear Carrera working that throttle coming out of the S's. So we watch this lap here. So a little bit of a confusing qualifying session. You see Felix Neguar has set a new fastest lap at a 1:16.676. Dangle's time is going to be null and void. So Neguar right now will be your provisional pole sitter. How we can make that work going into the race is yet to be determined. And it looks like Carrera is going to try one more hot lap. So we'll keep eyes on him. See yellow flags coming up in cautions with sectors 1 and 2. That's probably a lot of guys retiring from the session, pulling off to the side of the track. So through the baseball stadium. Carrera finishes his lap. Doesn't look like he's improved on his time or his position. So unofficially, Felix Neguar is your pole sitter, followed by Vito Telev. He will be followed by Stefan Prodanov. Cameron Weston Edwards, unofficially 4th. Sandre will be 5th. Brandon Glover 6th. Quinlan 8th. Bish 9th. Carrera 10th. Sawyer going to be, well, essentially Sawyer would be 10th. Guy Hamilton 11th. Lantham 12th. Boxhorn 12th. I'm sorry, 13th. Croft was unable to set a time, as was Supartini, so though Supartini, as you saw, wrecked earlier in the outing. So we're going to try and regroup here, see how we can fix this qualifying debacle. Obviously, a lot of questions up in the air about the legality of Joshua Dangle's time. He's left the session. See a 1:10.986. That's virtually impossible, even by the best drivers. And it looks like we're going to make a new session with a custom grid of the order of qualifying as it should be, without Joshua Dangle being your pole sitter. So we are making a custom grid based off of the qualifying session. Looks like Felix Naguar, who unofficially had the fastest time at a 1:16, he is going to be... He's got a 5-spot grid penalty. Dangle's time was null and void. He ran a 1:10. That was cut, and we are going to do custom grid based on the remainder of the qualifying as the drivers came through. So it'll be an interesting day to see
Hello?
Yo.
Would you like a bit of clarification on what we're doing?
We've gathered that you're doing custom grid based on qualifying minus Joshua Dangle's time.
Yes, we're gonna put Joshua Dangle at the back of the grid due to the fact that his internet was on 1 bar, and as a result of that, the game did not pick up a certain part of his first or last sector, meaning he got at least an extra 8-second advantage. So just as a precaution, we're going to start him right at the back of the grid.
And can we get clarification on Felix Naguar? Is he getting a 5-spot grid penalty or no?
Neither Felix nor Guy will get the penalties because Brandon's already owed up to that. So, and that will not be investigated till afterwards.
Very good. Very good. That was Cameron Weston Edwards. He's driver and principal of the IRL Racing League, clarifying the qualifying mishap. So, as he sets the grid, as you heard, Dangle will be starting at the back. Still some discussion going on behind the scenes to reset the grid. That being said, we can talk a little bit about Mexico. Be interesting to see how these guys are going to work their pit strategy. Mexico, very interesting track. So there's going to be a 5-minute leeway time into the next race. But probable race strategies. If you were going to do a 1-stop strategy, your pit window is going to be somewhere between laps 13 and 22, depending on what tires you start with. Now, if you was going to do a 2-stop strategy, it could be anywhere from lap 8 to 11 for lap 18 to 20 if you're going to do softs or hards. And if you're going to do a 3-stop strategy here in Mexico, you could pit as early as lap 6. Now, I'm a big fan of pedal to the metal. I would probably do 3-stop and try and go all out as fast as I can, as long as I can. So we're going to try and get, real quick here, screenshot. Was unable to get a screenshot of the starting order. So as we wait to reset here, So again, this will be round 3 of the IRL International Racing League Championship F1 2017 on the PS4 platform. Countdown to the race is on. So you work to reset. They're going to do a custom grid based off of qualifying position. Joshua Dangle seemed to have experienced some sort of internet lag. We heard from Cameron Weston Edwards earlier. Gave Dangle anywhere from a 6 to an 8 second advantage on his sector times. So they're going to reset the grid. And I apologize, I don't have much filler for the time that is lapsing, but we can talk a little bit about Cameron Weston Edwards. As you see at the top of the screen, he is currently second in the championship point standings. He's finished on the podium both times this year. Round 1 in Canada, round 2 at COTA, Circuit of the Americas. Joda Dangle, we've talked a lot about, obviously, with his internet lag and his time through qualifying. Brandon Glover, who has proven to be very fast through preseason testing, the exhibition race at Brazil. He had quite a battle yesterday at COTA, managed to bring the car home 4th. Felix Naguar is your current points leader. I may be having some internet issues myself. Alright, looks like we're actually going to get this race underway. Looks like the field's been reset. Currently trying to keep track of my live stream here on the YouTube channel. Appreciate anybody that's tuning in right now. Had some glitches here today. A lot of people have having internet issues. Looks like Ethan Croft had some internet issues. He was having a hard time joining the qualifying session. Obviously, Joda had internet issues. His lag didn't pick up a time through sectors 1 or 3. So through the formation lap, we'll give you a rundown of who is starting where. Tire strategy has essentially been thrown out the window. The drivers have been given the go-ahead to start on any tire that they want, given the confusion through qualifying. So it looks like you see the spinning circles, guys still trying to check in. So we'll head through the formation lap here. Okay. Okay, getting a little bit of a reset here. Looks like we're finally getting some things going. So Felix Naguar is going to be your pole sitter. He is followed by Vito Delev in the Red Bull, who also appears to be having some internet lag issues. Stefan Prodanov in the Haas F1. He'll be starting third. Cameron Weston Edwards will be starting fourth in factory Renault. Sandre in the Scuderia Toro Rosso. Fifth, Brandon Glover will be starting in the sixth position. We are getting word now that Cameron Weston Edwards' game has crashed. He is going to try and restart and rejoin as we continue to run through the running order here. Your starting order, this is Louis Quinlan, 7th. Louis Bish in the Sahara Force India, 8th. Little piece, that's Jorge Carrera, 9th. Rob Sawyer, 10th. Guy Hamilton in the other factory Ferrari, 11th. Shark Boxhorn is going to be starting 12th. Callum Latham is 13th. Ethan Croft, he's had some internet connection problems today as well, 14th. Sue Potter-Tini will be in the other Sahara Force India. He'll be starting 15th. And Joshua Dangle will be bringing up the rear with his disqualified time. So it looks like Cameron Weston Edwards is rejoining. So we'll take a look at Haas. So the cars are going to line up here. So look for this to reset. It's going to be a 36-lap race here at Mexico today. And it looks like we're having some internet issues with some of the drivers. And now we play the waiting game again. This is Louis Quinlan. We're now starting to get some times, some intervals, which is a little strange. So he's coming back around. And you see he will roll into place. Not sure, it looks like we were waiting on Quinlan. So, lights are out. Time to go. A long run down the front stretch into turn 1. See, Naguar takes a defensive line. Stefan Prodanov has moved up into spot 2. A lot of shuffling going on in the back. Take a look at Quinlan here. Oh, and Quinlan's lost it. He goes around, bangs wheels. And it looks like Vito Delev is going ghost. He's lost a little bit of connection. Got a lot of guys falling in the back. That's going to be Casico here. That's Delev. Brandon Glover working his way up through the mess of cars. You see position shuffling all over the place now. Oh, look at this gaggle of cars here. Oh, and then runs very wide, around he goes. Oh no, and a broken right front suspension for Shark Boxhorn. Not what he wanted today. Trying to make up for his mishap yesterday. So caution in sector 2. Oh my goodness, and there's Sue Potter-Tini, and it looks like he got hit. It looks like there's definitely some internet connection issues there. Not sure if Sue Potter-Tini's going to be the problem. So Naguar set the fastest lap so far. See a lot of guys diving into the pits, a lot of contact on this first lap, a lot of internet lag. So we'll take a look at Joshua Dangle, who started at the back of the grid. That is who was in the other Sauber. He looks like he was battling it out with Supartini. So just a mess today as far as driving and internet connections. We'll take a look back up at the front. Felix Naguar is your leader. Stefan Prodanov is going to be running second. Cameron Weston Edwards is third. Followed right behind him, the fourth position is Sandre. And we'll take a look at Edwards as he battles now Prodanov for the second position. So lots of action to try and keep up with here on the opening couple of laps. Naguar sets the fastest lap at a 1:23.62. So we've started lap 3. Partway through this lap, the stewards should enable the DRS. As we take a look back at Quinlan, he is still in the pits along with Brandon Glover. Be interesting to see there what is happening. I doubt this is a penalty. This appears to be another internet issue. We will try to keep up with the action back up at the front. But a lot of confusion today, unfortunately, with everything that's been going on. I wish I had better information for our viewers. Take a look at this battle here. This is your closest battle on track currently. Cameron Weston Edwards battling Stefan Prodanov for second. You see Sandre and the Scuderia Toro also sneaking into the picture there, running fourth. We got a couple of more viewers joining. We certainly appreciate that. Lots of confusion today if you're just joining in. A lot of drivers have had internet lag. Unfortunately, yes, Shark Box on. You were spun earlier in your lap. We caught that. The real question that has me puzzled right now is Louis Quinlan and Brandon Glover sitting in the pits. You see no pit crew around. Not sure if it's my internet or their internet. Watch the battle for second here. Cameron Weston Edwards trying very hard to find a way around Prodanov, but Prodanov has proven to be very fast. Won pole yesterday at the Circuit of the Americas race. Started second today. Take a look at the running order. You see these first 4 cars here. We've talked up to 4th place. Little piece, that is Jorge Carrera. He's not that far behind this battle. So he starts to sneak in on Sandre. So your top 5 cars are only separated by about 3 seconds from 1st to 5th. Behind him is going to be Louis Bish in the Sahara Force India. He had a great battle yesterday with his teammate Supartini. Currently 6th. Rob Sawyer, as you see, just picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. He is going to be in the factory Ferrari. Callum Lampum had an interesting day yesterday in Coda as well. And Supartini, the other Sahara Force India, he's going to be currently running 9th. Guy Hamilton in the other factory Ferrari. And then there is Kasiko 890. This is newcomer Vito Delev. I believe he qualified second, not Prodanov. And as soon as the race started, lost connection, and he's gone ghost and has been unable to rejoin since. Joshua Dangle, we talked a lot of confusion about what was going on with him. He ran a 1:10 time in qualifying, which was nullified. 1:10 is not possible here unless you own a rocket ship. So his time was disqualified. We reset the grid. He started from the back. He's managed to work his way up to 11th. Ethan Croft, he's had internet issues as well. He was in and out of qualifying, unable to set a good time. So he's currently running 13th, and Quinlan and Brandon Glover continue to sit in the pits. And again, I'm not 100% sure if that is my internet or somebody else's. They will round out your top 15. 16th, unfortunately, is going to be Shark Boxhorn. He is watching the live stream now, unfortunately, instead of being a part of the live stream. So he'll certainly be wanting to do better next week. As we take a look here, now we have a battle for 4th. And this is Carrera on Sandre. Carrera, he had a massive crash yesterday on the opening lap of Dakota. There was some contact in front of him. One of the Williams hit a wall, came back across the track, and unfortunately, he got caught up in that melee, spun the car, broke the left front suspension, and he was done for the day. He is going to try and make an inside move now on the Toro Rosso. Unable to make it work, and looks like there's a 5-second stop and go penalty for Rob Sawyer, speeding in the pit lane. And it says Sawyer has left the session. So it looks like Sawyer may be having some internet issues as well. Car's gone ghost. And it looks like we're having some issues with some of these drivers. So we'll try and give you the best broadcast that we can given the situation. We're going to take a look here at this battle. Closest battle on track right now, Carrera on Sandre, Sourhog, for the 4th position. Sandre picks up a 3-second time penalty. Both of these cars have now closed the gap down to Cameron West and Edwards. So your battle for 4th is going to quickly become a battle for 3rd. Last spot on the podium as we work lap 7 of 36. Long race here today. Oh, and you see the Red Bull runs a little wide there, almost got into the wall. That is Carrera. You see Cameron West and Edwards has dived into the pits, only lap 8, so it looks like he might try a 3-stop strategy. So we take a look at Carrera as he tries to find, he blows that corner, goes in way too deep. That's going to cost him a lot of time. Sandre's going to be able to pull out a little bit of a gap over him now. We'll take a look back at Supartini. Supartini is now all over the back of Callum Lantham, and these two are going to run up on the back of Cameron West and Edwards. Edwards comes out of the pit from his tire change. Supartini goes around the outside, manages to take the position away from Lantham. Doesn't look like Lantham's done. You see Cameron West and Edwards a little slow in the back there. Not sure if he's having some problems. But Lantham in the Williams is not done here with Supartini as he's going to try and get his position back. We want to give a shout out to Sandro Dulius. He's joining us again today. He is president of the SRL League that I also commentate with, and some of these drivers participate in. So we want to thank him for joining. And while there are many SRL leagues, there is only one Sandro Racing League. So be sure to tune in to watch that. You can catch their videos on my channel as well. As you see the battle here for 6th as Lantham manages to get back around Supartini, but Supartini's going to try and make a dive on the inside. Lantham's got to cut the corner. He'll take the position. He may want to give that position up to save face. That could be a penalty at the end of the race. run down the long front stretch here. This is currently your closest battle on track. These two going at it for 6th place. This is reminiscent of yesterday's battle. Stu Bartini spent most of the afternoon battling his teammate Lewis Bish for the 6th position. Lantham was a part of that for a little while. And the Williams and the Sahara Force Indias have been unable to get away from each other the past 2 days. You see Stu Bartini now trying to make a run. Oh, and he's going to dive back to the inside. Lantham closes the door. Through the S is a very hard section. You can either gain a lot of time through that section or you can lose a lot of time. And it looks like Stu Bartini lost a lot of time going into that S's section. You see Lantham runs wide there, and you see in the background there, that's Joshua Dangle starting to sneak into the picture. He started dead last on the grid. He's managed to work his way up to 8th so far. He's had a qualifying time. You see Stu Bartini dive into the pits. Dangle set a qualifying time of 1:10 due to an internet glitch. So it gave him provisional pole, but we had to negate that, nullify the time. He started at the back of the field with a custom grid setup. Managed to work his way up to 7th now after Stu Bartini dives into the pits. So we're going to take a look back at Rob Sawyer to see if he's gained re-control of his car, and it is still Ghost, unfortunately. So Sawyer had an okay run going, dived into the pits, and he was done. Lost connection. Looks like Louis Quinlan is back out on track. Not sure if the connection issue was with him or me, but you saw his car sitting in the pits for quite a long time. And we take a look at Brandon Glover on my end. His car is still sitting in the pits. So Quinlan running 14th. And he is running behind. Let's see here. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a grid reset. Quinlan actually running 10th. It looks like we're starting to get a little bit of a reconnect here. Not sure if the issue lies with the internet, the Codemasters, worldwide feed, whatever you want to call it. A lot of confusion today, and it's not on any of the players' ends or any of the broadcasters' ends, unfortunately. We're going to take a look back at the battle for 6th. These two are continuing to go at it. Joshua Dangle has managed to make it around them to pick up the 5th spot. So we have 5th, 6th, and 7th right here. Three-way battle. Looks like Bish is starting to pull away from Lantham just a little bit. So he'll try and set his sights on Joshua Dangle. Looks like we've got confirmation from Waffle. That is the other commentator. You can feel free to check out his channel as well. Waffle, kind of like cauliflower, but with a waffle. You can also feel free, but he's having the same issues with Brandon Glover and Louis Quinlan there for a while. Continue to watch this battle for 6th. And we've got a fan question here from Sandro. It says, what's your opinion on NASCAR and which driver are you supporting? Well, my opinion on NASCAR, I've been watching NASCAR since 1993. And I don't mind where the sport is heading. A lot of guys don't like the stage racing. But I think my biggest gripe with NASCAR is they really need to figure out how to... Oh, and you see the battle continue here real quick. 6th place, Bish is going to manage to get by. No, this is actually for 5th. Bish over Joda. Joshua Dangle. And now through the S's section. And to touch back on how I feel about NASCAR, I like the state of the sport. I mean, it's not what it used to be. A lot of hardcore fans had turned off, a lot of them. But unfortunately, things needed to change in order to try and retain the fan base that they have, try and get a younger fan base in there. I think Monster Energy's been doing a pretty good job. And, you know, hate to say it, but F1 has lost its grid girls, but Monster Energy still has its Monster Energy girls in the pits and in victory lane. Not trying to bring sexism into it, but let racing be what it is. And as far as the drivers that I'm supporting, I'm a big fan of Hendrick Motorsports, always have been. Was always a big Jeff Gordon fan. I like Chase Elliott. And you see Dangle here's going to dive onto the inside, try and make this pass. And these two are going to go wheel to wheel, back and forth again. And Bish is going to push him out wide. Dangle's turning out to be a scrappy little fella. And maybe a little faster than everybody thought. It was hard to gauge a time with Dangle. Obviously, with a 1:10 in qualifying was due to an internet glitch, so weren't sure where he would stand. But always been a big fan of Hendrick. Jeff Gordon was always one of my all-time favorites. Jimmy Johnson is obviously in his golden years at this point. He's probably got another 2 or 3 years left in him, but I like the state of Hendrick with Alex Bowman taking over for Dale Jr., Chase Elliott. He's due for a win any moment. William Byron has proven himself in trucks and in Xfinity. And, of course, I'm also a big fan of A.J. Allmendinger. I don't think he gets enough credit, but if you take a look at Allmendinger's career, he has won in literally every vehicle he's ever driven. And unfortunately, he had a little bit of a mishap a few years ago with Penske Racing, but I would like to see Allmendinger do well in a couple weeks at Daytona, and I love watching him on the road courses. So we continue to watch this battle for 5th. Really been interesting watching Bish and Joda, Joshua Dangle, go back and forth for the 5th place position here. I'll give you a quick rundown of your order. Back up front, nothing's changed. Felix Naguar is your leader, and that has been the norm for the first 2 rounds, followed by Stefan Prodanov, proven to be fast, but just not fast enough. Sandre's managed to work his way up into the 3rd position in the Scuderia Toro Rosso. Jorge Carrera looking to have a much better day than he did yesterday, running 4th. We've been watching Bish in the 5th spot. He's still battling it out with Joshua Dangle as Dangle tries to gain that position back. Louis Quinlan, there was a lot of confusion over him earlier. On my feed, he was sitting in the pits with no pit crew. Apparently, he has been on track most of this time. He's running 7th. Sue Ponartini in the other Sahara Force India running 8th. Cameron Weston Edwards running a 3-stop strategy. He's currently 9th. Callum Lantham, you saw him battle earlier with Bish as well in the Williams. He's running 10th. Guy Hamilton starting to close the gap into him, running 11th. Ethan Croft in the McLaren, he's had a bad couple of weeks between his IRL racing and his SRL racing, and it wasn't much better this morning so far. He had internet connection issues, lost connection multiple times in qualifying. Rob Sawyer went into the pits and went ghost, lost his connection as well. Vito Delev, he set a good time, but unfortunately as soon as the race started, lost his connection as well. Brandon Glover, I have to assume we're still running into the same issue with Glover. I imagine Glover is out on track, just not on my feed. And Shark Boxhorn crashed on the opening lap. Unfortunate for him, that's 2 days in a row where he was donezo very early in the race. So we're going to take a look here. Guy Hamilton as he starts to close the gap in on Callum Lantham. I'm going to give a shout out to NeoWire. He's tuned in to join us, watch a little bit of the Formula One race here. NeoWire has a channel on YouTube for Grand Theft Auto videos and some other, not sure what else he plays. As you see, through the S's there, Hamilton's going to cut that corner. That's going to be a warning. You can also check out NeoWire on Facebook. But a lot of cool videos, Uncharted, Grand Theft Auto, a couple of tips and tricks, and a lot of funny stuff to watch. So Guy Hamilton blows that corner there through the S's, so that cost him a little bit of time. The cars are getting pretty spread out at this point. This is technically your closest battle on track. There's a 1.3 second gap between Hamilton and Callum Latham for the 10th spot. That's going to be your last points paying spot. Working lap 17 of 36, just about halfway through this race here. The only DNF that we have is Shark Boxhorns. He wrecked the opening lap. Still trying to figure out what's going on with Brandon Glover. On my end, he's still sitting in the pits. I'm sure he's out on track somewhere. See Zexer there, that is Guy. That's not Guy Hamilton, that is Rob Sawyer in the Ghost Ferrari. He lost his internet connection. Car has gone ghost. Hamilton runs very wide coming out of the S's, and as we explained earlier, the S's is a very tricky spot on this track. You can gain a lot of time there, you can lose a lot of time there. And Stefan Prodanov has now closed the gap. Unfortunately, wasn't paying too much attention to the battle up front. The gap is 1.4. I'm not sure if Naguar had an off or if his tires are starting to give up. These are both the super softs. It looks like they're on. The red banded sidewall tires. And it looks like we're getting a big shuffle at the back here. Here we go. And it looks like we're finally getting a grid reset. So as I suspected, Brandon Glover has been out on the track and is currently running 9th. So, it looks like he's on the yellow soft wall tires. He'll be trying to make this possibly a one-stop, two-stop strategy. So let's get a grid reset now that it looks like Codemasters is caught up and my internet's caught up with everything. Felix Naguar is still your leader in the Sauber Ferrari. He's running first. Right behind him is Stefan Prodanov in the Haas F1 Ferrari. Behind him is Scuderia Toro Rosso driver Sandre Sauerhog. Little piece is going to be Jorge Carrera running 4th. Lewis Bish is in the Sahara Force India. We watched his battle earlier. Beastie Kids, this is Louis Quinlan. As you see, he's working his way around a ghost car. That is the ghost car of Casico 890, who's currently 15th. That is Vito Delev. Set a time in qualifying, started 2nd, lost his internet, and has not been able to rejoin. Joshua Dangle had an internet lag issue during qualifying. His time was nullified. Started at the back of the pack. He's managed to work his way up to 7th. Felix Naguar just set the fastest lap at a 1:19.472. We talked a lot about Brandon Glover. There was some confusion as to what was happening with him. We saw him sitting in the pits for most of the time. He has been on track, running 8th. Callum Latham is battling it out, it looks like, with Guy Hamilton still. This is now for the 9th position, and right behind him is Ethan Cross. So you got a three-way battle here. 9th and 10th position. These are the last 2 points paying spots. And you see Croft goes wide, very wide through the S's, and he just blew that corner and lost all of the time that he had made up through that sector 2. Looks like Hamilton lost a little bit of time as well through the S's. You see the rotors glowing red hot on these cars as they come through these corners. So Croft is going to try and make the time back up to Hamilton and Latham. Croft's had a really rough go here the past couple of weeks between his IRL and SRL duties. He has been unable to finish a race. Behind this battle, there's Cameron Weston Edwards sitting back in 12th. He pitted very early on lap 8. Behind him, Supartini in the other Sahara Force India. As you see the Sauber go by, that is possibly Felix Naguar lapping him. We talked about Rob Sawyer. We've talked about Vito Delev. Your only DNF so far is technically Shark Boxhorn. who is done for the day, and you see Hamilton's getting a 3-second penalty. So we take a look back at him. This is the battle for 10th still. He's going to have a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. And Joshua Dangle now has set the fastest lap for the Sauber F1 team, 1:19. So Dangle currently running 6th. And he's pretty much running all by himself right now. He's 21 seconds behind the next closest car to him for 5th. And he's running on softs. So that's a really impressive time on softs. Obviously, the cars are going to get a little bit faster as the fuel burns off. Ethan Croft now has managed to catch back up to Guy Hamilton. This is going to be the battle for 10th, worth 1 point in the championship. Croft is on softs. Hamilton is on super softs. You see Croft dives down to the inside, they bang wheels a little bit. Hamilton's going to come through the corner, tries to push him out wide. Croft's going to hang with him. He's all over the gearbox now of Hamilton. And now through the very tricky S's, you see Cameron Weston Edwards back there running 12th. He's starting to creep into the picture. And you can tell Croft has got some internet issues. Hard to determine his pace. Looks like Louis Quinlan has now dived into the pits. Take a look back here at Cameron Weston Edwards now as he's creeped into this picture for the battle for 10th. Now Edwards is second in the championship point standings after 2 rounds. He's finished on the podium both times. Due to a lot of confusion today, it looks like he's pitted early. He was one of the first cars to pit. He's dropped very far back into the order. But now it looks like Callum Lantham is now on. There goes Edwards. He makes a move on Croft. We got a 4-way battle now for 10th, essentially. Possibly even 9th. And Edwards, he makes contact with Hamilton, kind of gives him a little bump and run, pushes him out of the way. He's going to cut to the inside. And now he's taking over the 10th position. He's all over the back of Callum Lantham for 9th. So Edwards starting to pick his way through traffic and make his moves. It's a good run out of that corner. And you see Lantham blows the corner. He clips. And he's done for the day. He clipped Edwards through that S's. Got spun. I thought for sure he'd be head on into the wall with a broken suspension. Manages to regain the car and get back going. So Edwards is now 9th. There's still a battle for 10th back here. Ethan Croft. Looks like Guy Hamilton's diving into the pits. So Hamilton's into the pits. The Sauber going by, that's Felix Neguar. He's going to be a lap car. There goes Prodnoff. This is the battle for first now, 0.4 of a second. They both have their DRS slots open. They were both just a second behind the McLaren as it came through. And get that little bit of a speed advantage. So these two guys are lapping the field. So it'll be interesting to see if lap traffic plays a part in Prodnoff being able to get by Felix Neguar. Unfortunately, this is a familiar sight for Prodnoff, as he spent most of the afternoon yesterday chasing Neguar at the Circuit of the Americas makeup race. See the ghost car there. That was Vito Delev's ghost car, by the way, that they were driving through. So we hop on board with Prodnoff. And he was in DRS range, so he's got the slot open. That'll give him a little bit more top-end speed here at the end of the straight, but he's not going to be close enough to make a move. Big lock up there by Naguar going into the corner. It looks like Naguar, he is on the super softs as well. Working lap 24 of 36. You see these two have come up on the back now of Cameron West and Edwards. So Cameron West and Edwards second in the point standings. He's about to be lapped by Naguar, who is your championship points leader. So not a good points paying day for Edwards. I'm sure he'll be upset about that at the end of the race, as he's currently running 9th, and Naguar is on his way to another win, if things continue to work out this way for him. So it looks like Proudnoff now is going to be stuck behind Edwards for a second, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time. The only advantage there is that Proudnoff will have the DRS to work with and regain a little bit of that time. As you see, Edwards moves out of the way, lets Proudnoff go by. Wisely stays out of the championship points battle. So Proudnoff continuing to try and catch up to Naguar. But Felix Naguar has just proven to be too fast in all facets of this so far this year. He was fastest in preseason testing. He was fastest in the exhibition race in preseason in Brazil. He won at Canada. He won yesterday at the Circuit of the Americas. He is the IRL version of Killian Brady. And if you're not familiar with Brady, Brady is the championship points leader in the SRL League. That is the other league that I commentate for. It's very reminiscent. Killian Brady has managed to pull out a huge championship points gap in that racing league. And it looks like Felix Naguar is going to be doing the same as he keeps up this pace. You see now Proudnoff, even though he's 1.2 seconds behind, he's lost about 3/10 on that last lap alone. And it looks like Callum Latham is going to get a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. See that flash up at the bottom of the screen. Another big lockup at the end of the front stretch there for Naguar. And now there's a 3-second time penalty for Cameron West and Edwards. So currently your closest battle on track is the one that we're watching. It's really the battle for the lead. Proudnoff has tried very hard to get that gap closed down to Naguar, but it's just outside of a second, which keeps him just outside of DRS range, so he can't get an advantage on the long straights. And it looks like Joshua Dangle's going to move up a spot. Looks like little piece, that is Jorge Carrera. He's jumped into the pits for another tire change. Should be his last stop of the day. Lap 26 of 36. See another puff of smoke come out of Naguar's front tires as he locks him up down in the corner there. So it looks like Proudnoff gets a good run out of that last corner. He's able to close the gap a little bit. He's catching a little bit of the draft off of Naguar's car. He's got the gap now down to under a second. We're going to take a quick look back at Lewis Bish as he is closing in on Joshua Dangle, as you see there, the other Sauber Ferrari. So the two Saubers having a fairly good day, obviously, with Naguar out in front. You see Dangle, he's running the soft tires versus the super softs on the Sahara Force India. We'll see if Bish can close the gap now down to Dangle to take over the 4th position. He's got the DRS slot open. We will continue to monitor the time and the gap from between first and second, but this is your closest battle on track. You see Dangle goes a little wide there coming out of that corner. Bish is going to be a DRS range. He's got the slot open. Tries to dive down on the inside. These two are going to... Oh, they almost touch. Crossover move from Bish. Can't make it work. Dangle's able to hold him off. And now through the S's. Carrera picks up another time penalty. Bish gets a good run through that last corner there. He's going to take a stab at him down here at the end of the straight. Oh, he can't make it work. Saw a car run wide there in the background. It's possibly Brandon Glover. Oh, and it looks like there's a caution in Sector 2. That would have been Rob Sawyer's car. Nope, it was Guy Hamilton. He's the car that ran wide I saw in the background while we were watching that battle, and he has broken the front wing and is pulled off into the Sector 3. He's now gone head on into the wall. He's backing up across the track. See if he can spin it around. He's still trying to reverse. So Guy Hamilton gets the car going. He's got no front wing. He'll have to pull into the pits and get a tire change. Wings put on. And then we've got a caution in Sector 1. And Plasterman has retired from the session. Guy Hamilton done for the day. So here we jump back to this battle. This is Bish and Joshua Dangle continuing to go at it for fourth. This was the battle we were watching when I saw a car run wide at this section of the track. It was coming out of the S's. And Callum Latham now has left the session. Not sure if he's had an internet issue or mechanical issue with the car, but he is pulling off and he is done for the day. So we'll jump back up here to the battle for fourth. So we've got cars now starting to drop like flies towards the end of this race. That's 3 DNFs in total now. And your battle at the front, the gap has now been pulled out to 2.5 seconds. Neguar over Stefan Prodanov. So we started with 16. There's 13 cars still running. Callum the Boss, that is Callum Latham. Not sure if he had an internet connection issue or mechanical problem with the car. He's pulled off. He's done for the day. Guy Hamilton, we saw him wreck coming out of the S's in Shark Boxhorn. If you weren't here for the opening lap, he got pushed off into a wall and broke the left front suspension on that car. He was done for the day. We continue to watch this very interesting battle for fourth spot as Bish in the Sahara Force India and Dangle in the in the Sauber Ferrari have been swapping blows back and forth. As you see, Sandro has now set the fastest lap in the Toro Rosso as these two continue to go at it. And it looks like in the background there, he's just about 2 seconds behind this battle for fourth, but you see Jorge Carrera starting to sneak into the picture there. You can see him in the front stretch, the yellow-nosed Red Bull Renault. So he's starting to creep into the picture for this battle. Working lap 30 of 36, this could quickly become a three-way battle for the fourth spot. And if you go just a tick behind Jorge, as you see Jorge there, if you look behind him, you'll see Brandon Glover in the Mercedes. He's starting to close the gap down to this battle as well. So this is an interesting battle for fourth. You've got Joshua Dangle, who set a time in qualifying that was nullified because of an internet glitch. So he started at the back of the pack, 16th on grid, managed to work his way up through the grid. He's currently running on soft tires. Lewis Bish has been running really solid all weekend, currently in the fifth spot, and he's running on super soft, so it's a matter of whose tires are going to give up first. And now you've got Jorge Carrera, who has caught this battle for fourth, So now it's a three-way battle, 3 different manufacturers. And it looks like Carrera is on the purple banded tires. So you've got Dangle on softs, Bish on super softs, Carrera on ultra soft tires. So a very interesting battle for 4th place. You see Carrera's going to try and dive down to the inside, thinks about it, cuts back in, locks up the front brakes, very close. Oh, and he's going off. He's going off as he locks up the front brakes. He didn't want to rear end the back of Lewis Bish's car. So he lost all of his time that he gained. So Bish is going to continue to try and work on the back of Dangle. So the battle for 4th continues. Nothing has changed up front. Felix Naguar is still your leader. He's about 3 seconds ahead of he's about 3 seconds ahead of Stefan Prodanov. Sandro is running 3rd. You're watching the battle for 4th here as these 2 cars head through the S's. And so you see again, Bish closes the gap just a little bit under braking. Dangle gets a good run out of the corner. This here is the baseball stadium section. The old baseball stadium. They managed to run the track through. So we watch the overhead shot. They come around the last corner. There's pit road entrance, and they're going to be out onto the front stretch. And once again, Lewis Bish is going to be in DRS range. And you can see in the background, Carrera is starting to close the gap again as he's going to make another last-minute move to try and catch up to these 2 guys. Brandon Glover, who I thought would be more of a factor in this battle, he has fallen back. He's about 4.5 seconds off of this battle here, as you see Carrera now really has crept into the picture. You see, there it is, Dangle, Bish, Carrera. Oh, and he power slides the car a little bit coming out of the corner. Back end kicks out. Take a look back at Bish as they head through the series of S's here. Runs very wide coming out of that corner. These guys are using up all the track, trying to make up time. You see the debris back there in the background. That's the front wing off of Guy Hamilton's Ferrari. Real quick, we're going to take a look back at the battle for 8th. It's Louis Quinlan all over the back of Cameron West and Edwards. This is for the 8th position. Oh, and a big curb hop there by Edwards. And they both make contact. Got to watch that wing. Could cut a tire. Edwards is going to try and push him wide, and this is going to be the S's section. Time can be gained or lost through this section. Oh, and you see how wide Edwards runs there. Quinlan with a much tighter line coming out of that corner. He's on the outside. Edwards is going to try and make him go a long way around. Quinlan hanging tough as they head into the stadium section. Now, if Quinlan can just keep this momentum going, he'll be well within DRS range as they head down towards the front stretch. That's going to give him a speed advantage at the end of the straight. DRS slots open. We're going to hop on board here. This is the wing cam. You see Edwards is taking a very defensive line. He's going to try and make Quinlan. Oh, but Quinlan's going to try and dive bomb him. Oh, can't quite put it in there. He thought about it, and then he braked a little harder and thought twice. Slots back open as they head into the DRS range again. And again, Edwards is going to take the defensive line, make Quinlan work the long way around. Tries to work the outside. That's going to give him the inside advantage on the next corner. They bang wheels. He pushes Edwards wide. Edwards wants to try and come back. He's going to try for the crossover move. He's all over the gearbox of Quinlan now. This is your battle for 8th. Quinlan finally gets by Edwards. We'll see if Edwards can retaliate. And in the midst of all this, your battle back up front for 4th, which we were watching, Jorge Carrera has managed to get by Joshua Dangle and Lewis Bish, but Bish is still stuck behind Dangle. Take another quick look back here at the battle for 8th. Cameron Weston Edwards now. He'll be in the DRS range. He'll have the slot open for the speed advantage. Oh, and you see how low, look how low Quinlan is, making it very hard for Edwards. He's going to make him go around the long way. Quinlan took a very defensive line through there. It looks like Quinlan blew the corner, cut through the grass, so he's going to give up the position, it looks like. He's going to make Edwards go around the outside. Oh, they almost touch. Quinlan's down on the inside. It bang wheels a little bit. And now Quinlan's going to try for a crossover. He's going to cut back to the inside, pushes Edwards out wide. And now Quinlan's going to take the position as they head through the S's. Oh, Edwards is all over the back of Quinlan's car. You see that Scuderia Toro Rosso creeping into the background. That is not for position. That is the third place car of Sandro. And he will be wise to try and stay out of the midst of this battle as Edwards and Quinlan bang wheels again. Quinlan gets pushed wide. Edwards runs wide coming out of the corner, almost clips the wall. And now the run back out on the front stretch, this very long front straightaway. Quinlan's got the slot open. And Sandro would, ooh, Quinlan almost gave him the bump and run. Now Sandro in that Scuderia Toro Rosso would be wise to try and hang back and let this unfold. There's no need for him to try and get around this. Sandro has a 25-second lead over Jorge Carrera as these two continue to battle side by side. Looks like there's a 5-second stop-and-go penalty for Cameron Weston Edwards for ignoring a blue flag. A blue flag is to let them know that there is a leader that is trying to come by, but I don't believe that's a fair call as these two are battling for position. And what has happened now, looks like Bish has fallen off the pace. I'm sorry, Joda. No, that was Quinlan. Quinlan has fallen off the pace. That was the battle for 8th. That was Edwards he was fighting with. And it looks like he might have lost his internet connection, regained it back. You see some checkered flags now starting to fall as we were watching that very intense battle for the 8th place. So unofficially, your finishing results are going to be Felix Naguar picking up his 3rd win of the year. Stefan Prodanov picking up 2nd. Sandro, we were just talking about him getting involved in that battle for the 8th spot. Joda, on his first outing this year for IRL, managed to hold off and get back by Jorge Carrera for the 4th position. We'll take a look at the rest of the finishing order here in a second as this resets. And there is Felix Naguar, going to be atop of the podium again. 3 races in a row now. 2nd place there is Stefan Prodanov. He's got 2 second place finishes in a row. That is going to be Sandro there, 3rd, Sandro Sauerhog. So we take a look here at the unofficial race results. So Felix Naguar, Stefan Prodanov, Sandro 3rd. Joshua Dangle managed to get back by Jorge Carrera for 4th. Bish is 6th. Brandon Glover 7th. Cameron Weston Edwards 8th. Louis Quinlan 9th. Ethan Croft 10th rounds out your top 10 point-paying positions. You see there, Sue Partini is 11th. 12th through 13th have already left the session. We had 3 DNFs today. Guy Hamilton, Shark Boxhorn, and unfortunately I cannot remember the other. But very eventful day here in IRL. This was round 3 of the F1 2017 Championship on the PS4, PlayStation 4 platform. This is Season 4, Round 3. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. Had a lot of viewers today, a lot of good comments. Certainly appreciate it. You can catch us next week for Round 5, as that will be for Round 4, that will be the Brazilian Grand Prix. For more videos, you can check me out, KAMIKAZE-FOX, on YouTube. For more videos for IRL, you can also check out SRL Racing if you want to keep up with everything there. So tune in next week for Brazil. Appreciate it.